everyone, and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. 1 square a day for 365 days, plus a few bonuses here and there along the way. Today we are making this really pretty ring of roses wreath. Ring of roses. So probably many of you remember that rhyme from when you were little, when you were younger. And this is our ring of roses wreath, and there are no bullions in today's square, so you don't need your latch hook or your extra tools, just your regular crochet hook. And the pattern suggests 3 colour changes, or 3 different colours. So we're going to be making this, and we've got some treble crochets, we've got some double crochet clusters, we've got this, which is a new bobbly stitch. Can you see the texture of those? This stitch formation is called, or has been called, the blackberry stitch. I don't know if it exists on any other patterns, but this has been called the blackberry stitch in today's square. And then we've got our regular squaring off round and another border round. So let's stop waffling and grab your colours and your hook and your scissors and a cup of tea, and let's get going. Okay, so as with most squares, I tend to do different colours in my video square than the square that I've already made when I practiced. So we're going to make the centre, this white centre here, and you need to start with a ring. You could use the magic ring if you like, or you can do a chain 4 and a slip stitch. And then when you've got your ring, you need to chain 4. And this will count as your first treble crochet, triple crochet. And then you are going to do, this is a different start. We don't tend to do this start very often, but we're going to do 23 treble crochets into our ring, so that then with that initial chain of 4, you will have 24 treble crochets. So do your chain of 4 and then 23 treble crochets in your ring, and I will see you back when I've done 23 and we will join at the end together. Okay, so when you're making these treble crochets, these 23 treble crochets, you might need to just kind of scooch them around a bit, hold on to your work and then give them a pull round, just to make those all 23 fit into your ring. Okay, it's a bit of a squash, but it does work. Okay, and then just find your top chain. So you're used to 3 chains, but find your 4th chain, 1 2 3 4, and do a slip stitch into there to join your round, she says, and can't even do it herself. So join it in there and then do a slip stitch to close, and then fasten that off. Unless you're going to continue in the same colour, fasten that colour off and get ready for round 2. Okay, so our next round is this pink round that I've got on here, and you need to join with a slip stitch in between any of your treble crochets. If you are continuing in the same colour, then just where you joined here with your chain, just do a slip stitch over into this this gap between your stitches, okay, if you're continuing. But I'm changing, so I'm going to join into a space around this side, just so that I'm staggering my ends that I'm going to be sewing in, as you know that I like to. Okay, and then we are going to chain 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and as usual we are starting differently to how we will repeat, because we have to get our starting chain. So this chain is going to count as 4 chains and a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to do our first 2 double crochet cluster, in the 5th chain from the hook, or 2nd chain up. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, sorry, 3rd chain up or 5th chain down. Okay, so 5th chain from the hook, and we're going to work our first 2 double crochet clusters. So that's the first part of a double crochet, leaving 2 hooks, yarn over, insert for your 2nd double crochet, bring over 2 loops, and then you've got 3 left, yarn over and pull through all 3. That's your first double crochet cluster. And now what we're going to do is the repeat that you're going to be doing all the way around your circle. We are going to do a double crochet 2 spaces away, so 1, so you're going to skip 1 treble crochet there and then go into the next space. Okay, so effectively you're missing 2 double crochets going into the space here, and you're going to do a double crochet, just a regular double crochet. Okay, and now you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is like we had here with the chain 7, we had the equivalent of a double crochet and then a chain 4. Okay, so now we'll do a double crochet and a chain 4, and then into the top of this double crochet, which will be right next to our cluster. So can you see just here, you've got just here is the top of your double crochet. Okay, and into there you're going to do a 2 double crochet cluster. So that's the first part of a double crochet, and then the first part of a 2nd double crochet, yarn over and pull through both all 3 loops, sorry. And then you are going to do a double crochet 2 spaces along, so 1, 2, do a double crochet in there, chain 4, and a double crochet cluster in the top of this double crochet. Okay, so remembering just to hold back those last 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And you can see it's forming this really pretty stitch here. Just move that out of the way. It's forming this really pretty stitch here. So just work around your circle, doing another double crochet 2 spaces along, and then a chain 4, and then do your double crochet cluster in the top of this double crochet. And when you finish, you'll have this nice little ring wreath going on. Okay, and I'll show you where to join when we get to the end. Okay, and when you have done all of your little rose, like leafy rose clusters, you are going to join with a slip stitch into this beginning chain. So you're going to go into your 2nd chain, so the one just below your cluster. Okay, join in there with a slip stitch, and that is the end of that round. So if you are finishing this colour now, fasten off and get your next colour ready. And the next colour will be these little what I've got in blue, little blackberry stitches. So they're the little if I turn it to the side, these little knobbly bits. Okay, so grab your colour and we'll start the next round. Okay, so my husband has been off work this week, and he's been hearing me doing some videos, and he says that I say okay so a lot. So I apologise if that's getting annoying. I asked him what he suggested instead of okay, and he couldn't suggest anything, so we're going to stick with okay. Okay. He's a joker. Okay, so your new colour. I'm using blue. I'm using a different blue today for my Autism Blue month. So you are going to do a slip stitch into the top of one of these double crochets. So they might not look very much like a double crochet now, but any of these double crochets which you've got going into your first round here, just join with a slip stitch. If you are sticking with the same colour, then you've already done a slip stitch into this chain already. You did it into the chain, which counts as a double crochet, so that's fine, you're in the right place. So with our next round, we're working this blackberry stitch. Now it can sound quite complicated on paper if you've looked at the pattern or the chart, but it's not actually. So we've done our original slip stitch, and now we are going to chain 1, and we're going to hold this loop on the hook, imagining it's not there. Just for now, just forget this loop is on your hook. You're going to insert into your stitch, pull up a loop. So we've now got 2 loops on our hook. And with this, we're going to call this the second loop, and this one's the first. With your second loop, you're going to make a chain 3. So just through that first loop, so that's 1, 2, you might have to hold this a bit, 3, okay? So you've now got this first loop, and then a chain of 3. And then you are going to yarn over and pull through both of these loops. Okay, draw through both of those loops. So now you've got this kind of chain 1 here, which will have gotten a bit longer, and then you've got your chain 3 there. And then you are going to go back into your double crochet and do a slip stitch, and it forms this kind of bobbly, bumpy stitch, which it's called the blackberry because it is kind of bobbly and bumpy, just like a blackberry would look. Okay, so that's your blackberry stitch. I will show you that once more in just a moment. What you're going to do now is chain 3. Don't do these too loosely because you want them to eventually hide behind the back as much as possible. Okay, go into the next double crochet, which will be here. Do a slip stitch, and then a chain 1. Again, ignore this loop on your hook. Do a insert your hook, pull through, and then with this new loop you're going to do a chain 3. So just through that first one, hold on to this, 2 chains and 3 chains, and then do a yarn over and pull through the chain and that first loop, and you've got this funny sort of shape going on. And then insert into your double crochet, bring this yarn round. This yarn may want to automatically be over here. Just bring it over and then bring it through and do a slip stitch. And again, there's your second bobbly blackberry stitch. And then just pop this chain behind your cluster stitch there. Okay, and that hides that, and you just got your blackberry stitches. So I'll show you that once more. Chain 3, again, not too loosely because you want it to hide behind. Go into your next double crochet, do a slip stitch, and then do a chain 1. Ignore this loop on your hook. Insert, pull through, and then do a chain of 3 on your first loop. Chain of 3, yarn over, pull through both loops, insert into that stitch again, pull through and do a slip stitch, and there's your blackberry. Pop the chain behind, and there, if I lay this down, ignore my yarn tails, pop the chains behind, and there you go, you've got your little blackberries. So follow this all the way around until you get around to here, doing a blackberry and then 3 chains. Just rewind a few minutes if you need to watch back, and rejoin when you get around to here. Sorry, I'll meet you back to rejoin when you get around to here. Okay, so oh dear, I'm always going to think that now when I say okay, aren't I? Never mind. So when you've done your last chain 3, the pattern does tell us to slip stitch into our first slip stitch, but if you're like me, you pull your slip stitch down quite tightly, so it will all just blend in. What I've done is just gone into that first double crochet there and just do another slip stitch, and it just blends in with what you've already got there, so I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, and then if you're finishing this colour, fasten off, and then again, if you're like me, you've still got chains over the front, it's easier to leave them until the end and then just pop them over, just go around and pop them to the back. And that's as easy as that round is. It looks a bit complicated on paper, but actually a lot of crochet can look complicated, but when you start to do it, oh look, I've gone in the wrong space there, but that won't notice when we get going. So if you've done something like that, I wouldn't worry unless you want to correct it. Just proving to you there that I make mistakes, but you've seen me before, you know I make mistakes. Usually they don't notice too badly, so we're okay. Okay, so just pop all these chains over and then get ready with your next colour. And your next colour will be, if you're following this pattern, this colour pattern, then it will be going back to your first colour. It will be these 2 rounds here of white. So we've got these and this. So I'll be going back to my yellow. So grab your first colour if you're following this colour pattern. If not, just grab any colour or stick with what you've just been using. Okay, so round 4, if you are changing colour, do a slip stitch in the chain space next to the blackberry, so to the left, or if you're doing left-handed then to the right, but join to the side of your blackberry stitch. If you are sticking with the same colour, you will have finished right next to the blackberry on this other side. So just do a slip stitch over. Just work behind and do a slip stitch over into this space here. Okay, so you want to be over here. And then when you've done your slip stitch join, you are going to chain 3. And this will count as a double crochet, and you are going to do 4 more double crochet in this same space. So 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet into that space, and then you are going to do 5 double crochet into this next chain, over this next chain. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry if I went a bit off of camera there. So 5 into that chain space, and then you are going to do 5 in every chain space actually, because we're not making any corners on this round. If you look at this one, this is all just going round, so we're not making any corners, just 5 double crochets in every chain space. So just work around in these chains at the back, and I'll meet you back around here when you will be doing a slip stitch into your top chain of the 3. So all the way around, 5 double crochets in each. So this is the end of this round, and you might need to just pop your blackberries through if they've got pushed to the back a little bit with doing those double crochets. Just pop them back through, and there you go. That's the end of that round. Now we're not going to change colour for this one, unless you want to, of course, and we're going to stick with our same colour. So if you are changing colour, just change on one of these last sort of double crochets of a set. Okay, so get ready, and we'll start our new round. So you should have 60 stitches now. You should have 5 in each of these spaces, and it should be 60, a round of 60. So this is when we're going to square it off. In each side you will now have 15. You'll be working into 3 of these sets of double crochets, and you will be having 15 on each side, and then we'll be doing a chain 2 for the corner. So we're going to do as before in lots of our squares. We're going to start with a treble crochet, but for the first one, that first treble will be a chain of 4, and then you're going to so you're going to miss this where you've already got your chain there. I don't know if you can see that on camera. I might have the wrong colour, I'm sorry guys. So just, you've got your chain underneath, just ignore that and work into the next stitch and do a treble. So we're working from tall to shorter. Oops, do that one again. So taller stitches down to shorter, and then back to taller to square off. So we've got 2 trebles, and then we'll be doing 2 doubles, so 1 in each stitch as you go along. And as I said, that will be 15, so you're going to work into these 3 sets of double crochet. So 2 trebles, 2 doubles, and now 2 half doubles. Well, oops, I've done that as a double. Let's take that out and start again. Do 2 half double crochets. So 1, 2 half double crochets, and now this is the only change of the number. You're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, oops, what am I doing? Getting caught up. 1, 2, 3. That's your middle, and then you're going to go back to doing 2 half double crochets to work us back up to taller again. 2 half, and then 2 double, and then 2 treble crochets. So 1, 2 treble crochets, and that is your 15 stitches along, including this chain. And so for your corner, you're going to chain 2, and then a treble crochet into your next stitch, your very next stitch. Treble crochet, and a second treble crochet, and then you're going to continue along, 2 double, 2 half double, 3 single, 2 half, 2 double, 2 treble, and then you're going to do your chain 2. And you can see here, if I lay this down, you can see here this is starting to make your corner. Okay, so follow that all the way around, and when you get back to here, you'll be joining, you'll be doing your chain 2 for your corner, and then joining with a slip stitch into your top chain, and I'll meet you back there. Okie dokie, so I have joined in with my slip stitch in my chain, and this is now squared off nicely. So it's just time to put our final round on. Now if this isn't anywhere near the size you need yet, if you're crocheted tighter, then you might want to do a different round. This is a single crochet round with our colour that we did these petally stitches in. So we're going back to that colour if you wish. But if you were going to be doing single crochets, now if that's too small for you, feel free to change it up to doing half double crochets, double crochets, or do 2 or 3 rounds of single crochets. That's entirely up to you. But as per the pattern, it's just a round of single crochets now. So if you're changing colour, join with a slip stitch into any stitch. I'm going to join into the corner just because it kind of hides it a bit more. And then I'm going to do a chain 1, which doesn't count, and then you're going to do 3 single crochets in your corner spaces. Okay, 3 single crochets in your corner space, and 1 single crochet into every stitch around the block. And that is as complicated as it gets. So simple. 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So you should have 15 stitches along your side, and then you've got your doing 3 in the corner space all the way around. And then when you get to the beginning, do a slip stitch into your first single crochet, and that will be your round done. And I'll meet you back around at the end. So while I'm just finishing my last side, I thought it would be a good opportunity to remind you that all the descriptions for the Facebook crochet along group are in the description box below. There is a link there. There is also a link to the Autism Awareness group if you are interested in having a look at that. April is Autism Awareness, which is why I'm using some blue. And as always, if you found this video useful, and helpful, don't forget to give us a like and you know, that thumbs up sign there. The more people that the more likes we get, the more people will get to see the video, the higher up it will go on the YouTube ratings. And don't forget to subscribe. We try and put our videos up about an hour before the patterns go. The new pattern goes up on our Facebook group, so it's early access there, guys. And any comments or questions in the comments box below. And that's about it for this, guys. Tomorrow I think we're back with another one of our simple shell designs, and until then, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold. There's today's Ring of Roses square. Take care, guys, till next time.